Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now...
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome to the Reaver Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Right here on SHR Media, conservative media done right. We're broadcasting on Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. Rumble and YouTube, I think. I'm going to check because there were some issues loading up. Oh, how's everybody been doing? Yeah, I'm broadcasting. Good. View of the dark side. Oh, boy. Oh, in my ears. I don't need that. All right. I don't know why chat's not open in Restream. Probably Restream issue. All right, how's everybody been doing? Life has been hectic lately. I apologize I haven't been here. But my personal life takes precedent. My health takes precedent. But with that, we're going to get on with the show. Let's see. Well, this happened just a couple days ago. Anybody see Bette Midler's tweet or X, whatever you want to call it? I don't know what the hell to call it nowadays. But after the Supreme Court ruled that a president has some immunity from laws in his official act. See, that's the part that these idiots skip over, an official act. Now, what these liberals are now trying to push, suspending the elections indefinitely, arresting any Republican. There's one jackass on Twitter that's I guess, an operative of the Democrats. He thinks that anybody that supports Trump should be put in a camp. How very Nazi of them. And then you have Bette Midler, who, here, let me share it with you. So it's not just me telling you. It's everybody seeing it. Now, hopefully, let me see. Yep, you can see that. All right, and I'll scroll down as needed. Now, why won't you exit out of... There we go. She writes, now that Joe has total immunity, many are urging him to be GOP ruthless. Yeah. I love when they make this shit up. Here's a suggestion for implementing his new powers. And it comes from an article. I regret to inform you that Speaker of the House Mike Johnson has been arrested. A number of other members of House Republican Conference have been taken into custody. Jim Jordan unfortunately attempted to resist arrest. After wrestling with an FBI agent, he met a tragic fate. In the sudden absence of those members, there is a new majority in the House. I look forward to a long and cooperative relationship. I can say proudly, gridlock is at last broken, and we can all give thanks to the Supreme Court. So she is promoting. Bunch of shit downloaded on this computer. She is promoting the end of our country. No which way about it. She is calling for the murder of political opponents, the arrest of political opponents, as one person put in there. Man, you would love that Adolf guy. That's exactly how she sounds like. She sounds, and I hate going to this because you could equate it almost to anything, but this one right here, this one is what the Nazis, what the communists, what socialists, what every evil dictator in the fucking world has done. That is what she's pushing. And she's not the only one. There is scores and scores and scores and scores of fucking Democrats that after the ruling came out and called for the murder of Republicans. But we're the violent ones. Again, actions prove what words can't. They accuse the Republicans and conservatives of all sorts of shit all the fucking time. But the ones that I see actually promoting this violence, promoting this hate, is on the left. It blows my mind. It just... Yeah, someone else's... Maybe Stalin is a better one to reference it to. And someone got upset. Stop referring to Nazism and Adolf. Listen, when you're calling for the fucking death, the murder of political opponents, the arrest of political opponents, guess what? Shoe fits. Wear it. And they're the ones out there going, Trump said you're going to go after us. No, he's going to go after the deep state that's trying to destroy this country. I get so sick of that shit. The only thing the Democrats have is they have better publicists. They know how to play the crowd. It's just... And we allow it. We constantly allow this to be... this to happen. There's no... We allow it. We allow Democrats to act like this. But I'm sorry, that is beyond free speech. Hold on 1 second. See if I could do something. Ooh, sounds like it's raining pretty good. See if I can pop. There we go. I want to make sure I have my chats up and about. Yeah, if you're watching live, for those watching live, I should say, jump in the chat, join the conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, whatever the platform's way of saying to hit the little button. Please do it. Hit like. And It's free. And Bette Miller wasn't the only one doing this that day. There was a host of them on Twitter. And this is the problem with social media. People feel they can say whatever the fuck they want without any repercussion. They think there's going to be no repercussions. They have no filter. But on the other part, it shows us who these sick son of bitches really are. Listen, I was never a fan of Bette Midler. It wasn't my type of music. And her style of acting is not what I watch. Now, I'm not saying she's not a great musician. I'm not saying she's a bad actress. Just wasn't my style. But I'll tell you this. And it's a growing list. And it's growing and growing and growing. It'd be a cold day in hell before I go and watch anything that has her music or her in it. Not that I'm trying to cancel her. I just choose not to. I'm not calling for boycotts. I don't do that. I choose not to waste my money and support people like that. So I choose to not do it, which is my right. I'm not calling for boycotts. I'm not calling for anybody to cancel. But when you start hitting these people in the pockets, because I know I'm not the only one that thinks like this and feels this way, start hitting them in the pocket, maybe, just maybe, like Tractor Supply, they'll turn around and go, oops, we fucked up. We need to rethink things. Then you have some companies like Disney that just can't get it through their fucking heads that it's their actions that are causing people not to pay to watch their movies. It's not because we're sexist. It's not because we're racist. It's because you're making crap. It's because you're pushing ideology through your movies that we don't agree with, so we won't spend our hard-earned money on it. That is not a boycott. That is not cancel culture. That is us just not willing to spend money on things that we don't care to support. Just look at it. There's a big brouhaha on the internet, on like Facebook and stuff. NASCAR announced about this electric race car. And most people are going, if they switch over to it, we're not going to watch it. We're not going to the events. And you get these young kids, and God, I'm sick of it. You can't have your own opinion anymore. You're not allowed to dislike. Listen, I'm not against finding a better vehicle. Example, I think hydrogen is the way to go. And there's several cars that are being worked on that use hydrogen. That right there, I think, is the future. I don't think the electric cars are. I don't think they have the capability to do it. Has it come forward years? Yes, it has. I got something in my eye. It's just... Listen, I don't want to see Elon Musk, Tesla, any of those companies go out of business. If they do, they do. They don't, they don't. I just won't buy them. And I don't want the government telling me what I have to buy. I'm tired of the government telling me what to do. I don't believe the electric is feasible. I don't think it's good for the environment either. And I'm not going to get in the back and forth argument with it. But when it comes down to NASCAR saying, oh, we're thinking about doing electric race cars, take a look at Formula E. Formula E is not doing that great. And what NASCAR is thinking, going, let's do what they're doing. See, this is the problem when you have accountants running race leagues. When you have bankers running hospitals. When you have accountants running Boeing, the companies have a tendency to fail because they don't know the product. They don't know what goes into making this stuff. When you have a bunch of bankers and accountants running NASCAR, they don't know jack shit about racing. So they don't know what the people want. They think they do because some college degree tells them they're smarter. No, you're not. When you have a bunch of bankers running a hospital, you get shit care. You get them more worried about customer care than giving proper medical attention. And I've seen it with my own eyes as I worked in that field. I watched a nurse get suspended. What'd she get suspended for? She was working on a patient that was getting ready to code. For those that don't know, that means going into cardiac arrest. She was draining the circle, this patient was. The patient in the nurse room standing at the doorway wanting to know why she hasn't been taken up to her room yet and why this nurse hasn't stopped what she was doing to take her up to her room. And she got suspended for it because she did not stop what she was doing. She did not walk over to the stable patient that was standing in the doorway and take them up to their room. She did not leave her patient that was crapping out. That got her suspended. You have Boeing making decisions, these executives making decisions based solely on money, not on the engineers' ideas, not on the mechanics' ideas, solely on a piece of paper. And I said it a lot when I was deputy chief. There is a lot of ideas that are great on paper, but they don't work in reality. When you put it into reality, it is a huge failure. I've had those ideas. Nobody's above that. They come up with great ideas, but when you try to implement them, they just don't work. But when you have a bunch of ego-driven idiots making your decisions, well, we all see what happens with that.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
Will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. And we're broadcasting through SHR Media, conservative media done right, right here on Rumble. We're broadcasting through YouTube on Reaver of Common Sense, Facebook, SHR Media, Twitter, Reaver of Common Sense, and Twitch. I think you see the other one. Yeah, it's Jersey Joe 21. Oh, I don't know. It just... So I see France shit the bed. A lot of backroom deals to block and keep going with their crap ideas. The National Republican or the conservative group got the most votes, but they're not getting the most seats. A bunch of liberals won by backroom deals that now has... there was riots before the election, and now there's riots after the election. The same people. People that wanted the liberals to win rioted, and now that the liberals won, they're rioting. But the French Israelis invite Jews to flee France for safety in Israel after a leftist election wins. The left is falling to anti-Semitics left, right, and center. Not just here in the United States, across the world. And it's getting so bad in France that they're now asking Jewish people to leave the country, leave their country, because it is not safe for them. Instead of stopping the hate, the anti-Semitic atmosphere, making the people that are causing these problems to leave, no, they're asking the Jewish people to leave to a country that's being attacked on all sides by people who don't like Jewish people. Seems like the left is trying to push all the Jewish people to Israel to make it easier for the left to destroy the Israel people. That's my opinion. May not be right. I may be wrong. I might be right. But that's my opinion. I'm looking at it, and you look at a map, and that's the road it's taking. They're trying to push all these Jewish people back to Israel where they're being attacked. Yeah, that's smart. French Israelis are telling French Jews to migrate to Israel after a tumultuous election this weekend, which put a coalition of far-left anti-Semitic parties and Muslims in control of France. French Israel are bluntly urging that Jews are safer in Israel during a war than they that's all, folks, than they will be if they remain in France for much longer. The Nation on Sunday talked to some French Jews who flew home to France to cast their ballots on the snap election called by President Macron. Yeah, I know I'm fucking his name up and I don't give a shit, and I'm doing it on purpose. Some thought the election could be a last-ditch effort to hold the anti-Semitic open border left at bay, a forlorn hope, as things turned out. While others said it was time for Jews to get out of France. Dan said he would be voting for the far right, something that would have been unthinkable not so long ago, having been established by openly anti-Semitic politicians. Despite the far right's history, Dan was certain about his choice. There is an urgent need to stop the far left, which has allied itself with radical Muslims. And if we don't stop it, France will become even more dangerous for Jews. We're not far in this country either. We are not that far off in the United States from that. The attacks, the verbal attacks, and then some of the physical and the shit that's going on in this country against the Jewish people is disgusting, and it's happening from the far left. But they don't get called out in the media because the media is complicit in covering it up. Just as they were complicit in covering up Joe Biden's deterioration, his mental deterioration. They covered it up. Now they're all shocked. Oh, my God, what happened? Well, just 5 minutes ago, you were telling me Joe's doing cartwheels in the White House. The debate's done, and now you're telling me, oh, my God, he's not mentally well. What happened? How'd this happen? How'd it happen? You lied to us again. Again, the media has lied to us. Surprise. Nah, the left wouldn't lie to us, now would they? The media wouldn't lie to us. And it's funny, they're always Trump lies. Oh my God. We have a president who had to leave the presidential run for president back in 87, 88 for lying, plagiarizing, lying some more. But he beat Medicare. Remember that. He beat Medicare. An absolute joke. Now, what is his excuses that are going on now? Well, Trump yelled and that distracted me. Wait a minute. Our president, who's going to be in meetings with world leaders, yelling and screaming, and, that shit happens. You're going to be in a war room where everybody's throwing ideas, being loud, and you can't think straight. Even though Trump didn't fucking yell. Oh, I am, I was jet lagged. I was tired. And the best was when he said he was running around the world dealing with wars in the world, all over the world. He hadn't been any traveling in over, I think it was like 12 days. Oh, I was sick and they thought I had COVID and they didn't know what was wrong with me. Oh, they know what's wrong with you, Pedo Joe. They know exactly what's wrong with you. You just in denial. Your family's in denial, I should say. And I do agree with a lot, and I've said it for a while now. This is elderly abuse, people. This is elderly abuse with what they're doing with that man. Take out the part that he's a Democrat. Take out the part he is an idiot. And I'm just going as a human. He is an elderly man that is not right in the mind. And they are forcing him out there. If I had done that to my elderly father, you better believe I'd be charged with elderly abuse. But again, nothing happens to the left. I just... I really hate this in Facebook. You like a comment next thing you know, want to join my group? No. What else were they making excuses about? He was sick. How about the part that his mind's going with age? And I'm not saying just because he's, 80s, 81, 82, whatever. My dad was mentally with it until cancer hit him. And that's where his mental acuity went downhill. It's not exactly the age I have an issue with. It's the fact that he is not mentally there. And he should be enjoying his family, enjoying his golden years. But the problem is, who are we going to get? Who's going to replace him? Camel Toe Harris? Gavin Joker Newsom? And then come to find out, there's rumors that, yes, Harris would be the presidential candidate, and they want Newsom as the vice president. But you can't do that, supposedly. I don't have the facts in front of me on that, but supposedly you can't do that because you can't have a president and a vice president from the same state. Never heard that before. Doesn't mean it's not true. Never heard it. So I'm not going to, bet the farm on that. You know what? Run Harris. Run Gavin. I don't think they're an issue for Trump. I really don't. Not that I think Trump's untouchable. Those two, they're not exactly popular. They think they are, but they're really not. So I just... Now, how we went from talking about the Jews in France to Dum Dum, I have no idea. Come on.
Oh, sorry. That's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
Will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Right here on SHR Media, conservative media done right. Broadcasting with SHR through Facebook and Rumble. Reaver Common Sense through YouTube and Twitter. And on Twitch with Jersey Joe 21. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, do a handstand, all that. Like me, hate me, want to see me get fired, want to see me get a raise, go ahead, leave a comment. Join the conversation live. Tell me what you think. All right. You know it's bad when your own supporters are poking fun at you. Biden was savagely insulted by his own campaign volunteer as TV segment takes surprise turn. If these are what the guys on the president's side are thinking, it doesn't look good for his campaign. Holy Nikes. A routine television piece pushing President Joe Biden's visit to Philadelphia on Sunday took a surprising turn when a campaign volunteer burst out an obvious insult. And the fact that the man laughed out loud in the process just made it worse. Here, let me pop it up. This is from Philadelphia CBS News. Oh, where is it? I think it's, yep. Come on. All right.
A field campaign office in Manayunk, where volunteers were surprised to find out he was visiting.
Oh, is he coming here? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool. That's dope. I hope he's awake for it.
Solomon Troop.
Awake for it. That's cool. That's dope. I hope he's awake for it.
I hope he's awake for it. That's not good. This is also the same speech he gave and thanked Philadelphia because every time his election came up for senator, Philadelphia was always the place that put him over. For those that don't know politics inside and out and don't know geography, Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania. He was a senator for Delaware. So it's an impossibility. Well, it is the Democrats, so they do vote illegally and all that. But by law, Philadelphia has no say in his election. It's just another step in the progression of his downward spiral of not knowing where he is, what he's doing, or what he's saying. He was probably thinking as vice president, being from Scranton, they helped him. I don't know. I don't know what's going on inside that brain. I think the hamster fell off the wheel a long time ago. For a man that says he needs 4 more years to do what? You've had 50 years in office. 50 years. and you didn't do fucking shit. The only accomplishment you've had over the last 3 years is destroying our borders and destroying our economy. Other than that, you haven't done shit. It just... How we allow this boggles my mind. We need to start both R&D, both sides, stopping these politicians from being lifelong politicians. I know we need senior members in office. But they say the president can only run 2 terms because too much time in office gives too much power. Now think about that. Congress said the president needed a limit on terms because if they were in office too long, they would gain too much power. Talk about coming back and biting them in the ass, because we need term limits. And you could, if you're good enough, if you are good enough, you can make a lifetime run at politics. Because if you did like 2 terms, House, 2 terms, Senate, 2 terms, President, you could be, 10 years easy in the House? No, 8 years. I was thinking 6, 2, and 4 were the run of the House. Don't ask me why. I might be right. I don't know. But we'll go with 8. 8 years in the Senate. There's 16. And then another 8. There's 24. If you were that good, hell, you could even stretch it out to a 32. And how? Very, very easy. 2 terms in the House, 2 terms in the Senate, 2 terms as vice president, 2 terms as president. Yeah, I know chances of that ever happening are very low, but we need to cap this shit off for people. Too many people sitting in office way too long. Schumer, Lindsey Graham, Pelosi, Biden, and the list goes on and on and on. And if you notice, I did put some R's in there. Not just because, I need to seem fair. I ain't fucking fair, people. I say what I think, and I think what I say. Why I'm saying those, because it's not just a left-sided problem. It is a left and right-sided problem when it comes to terms. That Congress needs to be limited. And I'm going to give Trump a compliment here, which I normally do. I know I'm a Trump. Listen, it goes back before he came down the escalator, talking with my dad and stuff. I said, no, I'm going to back Ted Cruz. Trump's just in it some publicity. He's not going to run. He would have to drop out of his businesses. He's not going to do it. He announced that he was signing off on his companies, leaving his companies so that he could run. I said, you know what? My dad was right. I think this is the guy I would like. The business sense on him, he can help turn the country. Because technically, the country is a business. And I watched. And I laughed because I watched him attack this man. I think it was John McCain that first attacked him. Before that, Trump had like a 1, 2, or 3% rating in the polls. He had like no chance at all to even become the candidate. Not alone becoming the president. Becoming the candidate, he only had like a 1% chance. But from there, McCain attacked him. He fired back. Verbally fired back, so I don't get in trouble with any of the social medias and none of that. And when he went back at McCain, people were like, shit. They're not used to Republicans firing back at people. Shot his ratings up. I think it was Lindsey Graham attacked him. Then McCain and Trump fired back at both of them. And that was the whole campaign. He was getting attacked from some on the right, the left, and the media. And he wasn't taking it. And every time they attacked him, Every single time they attacked him, I watched that rating, that poll number, tick up and up and up. So what do we have now? His numbers were down a little bit. He gets arrested and indicted. His numbers jump up. The media attacks him. The left attacks him. His numbers go up. He gets convicted. His numbers go up. Why? Because they see exactly what he has said. What most of us feel, that the government will attack you. The government is not there for the people, that the government is there for them to make money, and they don't like outsiders, and they don't like the people trying to take them down. And people see that. And that's what people love. I love how Trump talks. I'm from Jersey, so you know what? I kind of understand it. That's going to bring us a little bit into the next segment. And I know polls. Polls are very... You could sway them. I've never been one behind polls. But this one had me going, oh, shit. Poll coming out of New Jersey for presidential candidates Donald Trump and Biden. Out of New Jersey, which has been a Democrat stronghold for a while now. I'm from the communist state of New Jersey. I escaped to the free state of Florida. New Jersey, Trump 43%. Biden 41%. Trump is leading in the polls in New Jersey right now. As of July 3rd, that poll came out, and he is leading the polls. That tells you something. And then today, I think it was... Let me see if I can find that article. Trump is leading in every single swing state. Which... I know two of them, he's in less than a 3% lead. The rest of them, he is way above that. So he's out of the margin error. Oh, shit. Now, this should tell you that, and we're going to jump subject real quick, and I apologize. I'll try to remember to go back. But House Democrats to fight bill requiring proof of U.S. citizenship to vote. Extreme Hakeem Jeffries is fighting against the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, which just makes it that you have to be a U.S. citizen. To reconfirm that you have to be a U.S. citizen to vote, and the Democrats are fighting against it. Further proof that the Democrats are trying to flood the countries with illegals, give them access to vote so that they could win elections. Because they can't win on honesty, they can't win on truth, and they can't win on fairness. The SAVE Act, which Chip Roy, which I don't like Roy, has deemed critical to safeguarding the nation's elections from foreign influence, would require state election officials to mandate voter registration applicants proof of American citizenship. Just as for my license, my driver's license, I had to prove that I was a U.S. citizen. What's the problem to prove that you're a U.S. citizen? By showing your driver's license with that, in states like that, it shows that you are a U.S. citizen. That's why illegal immigrants should not be getting driver's license. Even in New Jersey, that pissed me off. New Jersey, I was there when they first implemented it. I had to bring in God knows how many fucking documents to prove that I was a U.S. citizen, while there's a line of illegal immigrants that have been given driver's license. And they can't prove shit because they're not there legally. But I got to prove I'm a U.S. citizen. The Democrats do not want any requirements for voting so that they could cheat, They can steal and they can have illegals vote. And they've tried to pass laws to allow illegal immigrants to vote in our elections. Courts have been ruling on it. Democrats will tell you it's not happening. It's fucking happening, people.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show right here on YouTube and Rumble every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. Be warned, he's the one your mother warned you about.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Oopsie. Hey, welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. You're listening to me on SHR Media. Conservative media done right. We're broadcasting through SHR Media on YouTube and Facebook. Reaver Common Sense through... Oh, yeah. No. Damn it, I messed up. Everybody say it. Joey fucked up. Now, Gold Star. Can anybody tell me where that came from? All right. Reaver Common Sense is YouTube and Twitter. SHR Media is Facebook and Rumble. And then Jersey Joe 21 on Twitch. Oh. So back. We'll try to go back. Oop, let me see if I could try to... I thought I popped that article. Yes, Emerson polls. Trump. Here, let me put it up on screen. Because I like to... Well, you can't prove it. Oh, here it is. Pennsylvania, Trump 48%. Plus 5 to Biden's 43. Wisconsin, Trump 47, plus 3, Biden 44. Michigan is a Trump 45, plus 1 to Biden's 44. Now, I say Wisconsin and Michigan, yes, he's technically leading, but he's also, those are within the margin of errors within those polls, which is usually about 3% difference. So we'll give those two tie. I'm being generous here. Nevada is Trump 74%, plus 6 to Biden's 41. Arizona, Trump 46 to, that's a plus 4 to Biden's 42%. Georgia, Trump 47%, plus 5 to Biden's 42. Now, this doesn't guarantee anything, and I believe Trump right now is being smart. He's not out there slamming the pavement. He's letting the Democrats eat themselves right now. He's letting the Democrats fight with themselves and letting it hit the media. And it makes them look in disarray. You have groups that are calling for Biden to step down. And then you have groups that are backing Biden. And it's going back and forth. You got AOC right now backing Biden. Yay! I don't know. But it was asked why Trump's campaign isn't saying anything. They said they're focusing on campaigning. And they got 2 rallies coming up. They got the announcement for vice president pick and the RNC coming up, which is, I believe, a week from today. So I don't know if I'll be on next Monday. Because eventually we'll be coming on. I can't air it. If I did, it would just get taken down. I've done it before and I've gotten taken down. So I may not be here. I might come on afterwards for a little bit. I don't know. I'll be here Friday. Unless, like I said, guys, I got rheumatoid arthritis. I have 2 knee surgeries. Neck surgery. I got multiple ruptured discs in my lower back. So when I have flare-ups from the RA, it hits me and it hits me hard. And sometimes I just can't get on, and I do apologize. I've had a lot of stuff going on family-wise. My wife went to see her in-laws or her parents, my in-laws. And her father had to have back surgery because of spinal stenosis, I think it was. Well, ends up he got an infection and nobody knew. And he was home and they had an emergency and it was pretty bad. He was delirious. Then he wasn't coherent. Then he wasn't really conscious. He was taken to the hospital. You know, shit happens and life goes to hell. I try to do a show regularly. I try to be here and talk about this stuff. But I got to take care of my personal life first because I did it before where I threw everything to the wind and just did the show. You'll burn out. Everybody thinks it's easy doing this shit until they do it. They're like, oh, it's a little bit tougher than I thought. So, and Monday, I believe, if it's not the convention, I'll be here. But if it's convention, I might wait till afterwards and talk about what happened at the convention. But Trump's being smart in sitting back and just letting this play out. Because if he jumped in there, he would take the negative press off of Biden and make the cycle about him. And right now, you don't want to do that. Let Biden, his campaign, implode more. And he's not smart because he's made a lot of flubs. He's attacked American people verbally. He's called them enemies. He has the DOJ listing anybody that's a Trump supporter as a domestic terrorist. People, that's not the American way. But it just keeps getting worse and worse. I thought maybe things would turn around after Obama, but it hasn't. It's just gotten worse. All right, leaked documents showing how Biden's team prepares him for events sparks controversy. Scrutiny of President Joe Biden's ability to serve as a second term should be victorious in November, or even secure the Democrat Party nomination, has increased tenfold after his presidential debate performance on June 27th. Opposite the presumptive GOP nominee, former President Donald Trump. To conservative audience, the 81-year-old president seemed his normal senile self. But the left-wing pundits and Democrats looked on in apparent shock as his inability to form a coherent sentence. Since then, evidence of what Biden's administration does to keep him afloat has emerged from the fringe, now becoming mainstream. And again, they screamed about conspiracy theories, and guess what? It was true. Remember just a week or two ago, they were saying how those videos were faked and they were altered and they were this and that. And now, no, that's actually what's going on. They just try to cover this shit up and blame the conservatives for it when it's Joe Biden's senility. So, on Sunday, Axios reported it had obtained a copy of a template used by White House event staff to guide Biden to a podium when speaking at an event. In the 5-page documents, 2 pages are separate pictures of walk to podium. The outlet reported. Here. Let's share it. Let's go to a little show and tell. No, I don't want to. Walk to podium. Walk to podium. They got pictures showing him where to go. But yeah, whether he's doing cartwheels, all right. It surprised me that a seasoned political pro like the president would need detailed verbal and visual instructions on how to enter and exit a room, a person who staffed a Biden event told Axios. See, it doesn't surprise me because we've seen videos where they've had like the Easter Bunny directing Biden because he's gotten lost in the Rose Garden, I think it was. there's that short video out there, and it's, the audio's fake. And it's about kind of like the CIA or Secret Service, talking about how they briefed Biden where to go once he steps off the helicopter. All right, he's coming down the steps. Hopefully he doesn't fall. I made it down the steps. I made the left. He needs to go down here. He just has to make this turn, and we are home free. No, he didn't make the turn. The president is off the path. He is wandering around. We've seen it. We've seen with our own fucking eyes, and you try to, I hate to use all these terms, but gaslight us and telling us we're crazy. We didn't see what we think we saw. Bullshit. We know what the fuck we saw. If individuals are not accustomed to seeing advanced teams work, that would be a common reaction, whoever the principal is. Axio quoted an unidentified White House official as saying, I knew that was coming up. I knew. White House spokesman Andrew Bates told the outlet that high levels of detail and precision are critical to presidential advance work, regardless of who is president. And these are basic approaches that are used by any modern advance team, including the vice president's office and agencies. I knew that was coming, but they're still trying to cover up. And here's the article, one of the things I was talking about, irredeemable, cheap, fake media. Everything being the same. If Joe Biden were up 5 points against Donald Trump right now, the corporate media would still be telling us he's sharp as a tack. As far as the corporate media are concerned, the only thing that has changed between this, hang on. Oh. NBC News, June 19th. The deceptive Biden G7 video was quickly debunked, but it kept going viral anyway. CNN, June 14th, right-wing media outlets used deceptive crop video to misleadingly claim Biden wandered off at G7 summit. Washington Post on June 11th, how Republicans use misleading videos to attack Biden in a 24-hour period. CBS News on June 18th, misleading Biden video goes viral. ABC News in August, how do you know Joe Biden is not going to finish his term? What is that based on? New York Times on June 21st, how misleading videos are trailing Biden as he battles age doubt. MSNBC in March, this version of Biden intellectually and analytically is the best Biden ever. And now, NBC News on July 4th. Far from a one-off, the debate revealed the same worrying traits: memory lapse, incoherence, and a vacant look. CNN on July 2nd, Biden's mental fitness could have been better covered leading up to the debate, some White House reporters acknowledge. Washington Post on July 3rd, sometimes he doesn't grasp the finer points of policy details. He occasionally forgets people's names, stares blankly, and moves slowly around the room. CBS News on June 28th, voters watched as President Biden meandered and stumbled through answers that amplified concerns about his age. ABC News on July 5th, do you have the mentally and physically capability to do it for another 4 years? New York Times on June 28th, to serve his country, President Biden should leave the race. MSNBC on June 28th, if he were CEO and he turned in a performance like that, would any corporation in America keep him on as CEO? So what it comes down to, they found out they're getting clicks. They're back to making money. So, of course, would Biden losing in the polls right now? Of course, they don't mind throwing Biden under the bus. All right, everybody, I'll see you on Friday right here on SHR Media, Rumble, and Facebook. Reaver Common Sense on YouTube and Twitter. God damn brain farts. Damn, I'm starting to wonder if I'm not going senile. Everybody have a good night.